Danny can push it also.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I'll do that right now. Okay, well, we're live right now, so
We
hold on.
live.
Xavi, Chino. Where's that from again?
We live,
What?
baby.
Yeah, that guy. We laugh, baby. We
Yeah.
laugh.
Peter, Piper, Picker.
Pick a pen.
Dan is the man.
So stupid. All right. Hi, guys, and welcome to our third episode. But yeah, our third episode of our Falcon and the Winter Soldier review. We're still working on that intro. But yeah, joining me today again is what was your name? The smooth
Eric.
criminal Chino Bustamante. And joining me,
Ooh.
oh, right? What a name. That's a perfect name. And
Wow.
then also joining me is my good friend, Danny Panlilio's non-showbiz husband, Javi.
Stop
Aaron
saying
Yeager.
non-showbiz. He's also showbiz. Don't insult him,
I'm
okay?
sorry.
I
No.
think
Well,
you
I'm
can
going
call
with
me
the what's
showbiz.
that headline?
No, ma'am. I think you can call me
Oh.
showbiz once I'm verified on Instagram. As of the
No.
moment, I
Okay,
am not.
okay.
So probably like next
So,
week.
huh? Baka 3
Gotcha,
months from
gotcha.
now. Let's see, let's see.
But you know that article, ba, Chino? That's we keep
Yeah, for
teasing
sure.
it.
Dude, if you
Yeah.
Google my name, that's the first thing that comes up. I am a husband, first and foremost.
Not
Oh,
non-showbiz
man.
husband. You can tell the article's dated.
I know.
Best believe.
Anyways, so yeah, to start things off, we're gonna have a different format to see if we could make the time shorter. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have our top line impressions on the third episode, and then we're gonna talk about the things we like and we didn't like. So we're gonna skip the
Okay.
recap. I'm not sure if this is a format everyone likes, so we'll experiment. So I guess let's Chino, start it off with you. What are your top line impressions on episode
Okay,
3?
this was probably the best episode so far. And
Mm-hmm.
I say that there was one giant MVP that spearheaded this episode. We're going to get to that in further detail. But yeah, this episode has been probably the best one so far. There was a lot of plot development, a lot of action. And I think this episode's banter between the Falcon and the Winter Soldier was felt not as forced as episode 2. It felt more natural to me. A lot of strong plot development, and overall a lot of things to get to that we will obviously get to in a little bit. But yeah, best episode so far.
Cool, cool, cool. Javi, what are your impressions on third episode? Reminder, no spoilers yet.
Yeah. Well, for me, in regards to I'm basing it off episode 1 and episode 2. This one was like the most well balanced episode in regards to like the action of it and the character development and story development as well. That's what I have
Yeah.
to say for this episode.
All right. Yeah, that's cool. So my thoughts on the third episode is pretty much like what Chino said. The thing that stood out the most was definitely how the banter of Bucky and Sam wasn't that much anymore. It wasn't. And episode 2 was too forced. Episode 3 they nailed it. I really love how they progressed the story in terms of introducing new characters. And again, the third episode really reinforces my idea of how what it reinforces what Marvel is doing for the MCU, right? Like these shows basically just gives more breathing room for these sub characters and the world to breathe, right?
I
So those are
agree.
my
Yep.
top line impressions on the third episode. So talking about things, okay, so now that's our non-spoiler review, very brief. So right now, moving forward, this conversation is going to be full spoilers. So if no one has seen the
hmm
episode, like leave right now, right, and come back
If you just
afterwards.
logged in just to see our beautiful faces, now's the time
Just
to go
mute it.
out. If you haven't seen
No, just
episode,
mute it.
Just
Just
mute
mute
it.
it
There
and
you
just
go.
like
Yeah,
yeah,
just keep
there you
going.
go.
just
Just
marvel at our
mute it.
faces without the sound.
Yeah. Okay, so talking about the things I did like, I'm not sure if you guys are with me or not, but Zemo was the standout. Like
Oh
hands
yeah.
down, Zemo was so good. Like he was a villain that I did not care about at in Civil War, and he was very confusing for me. I didn't know what his plans were, and like he was all over the place in Civil War for me. And knowing that he was gonna be a villain in this show, right? I had my expectation. I thought he was gonna be boring again, but no, he came in and then he's like a totally different character. I like how he's like chill, but at the same time, you always have this like, man, this guy's gonna screw these guys over at one point,
He's very
right? But until
calculated.
then,
Totally,
it's
totally.
very calculated. But he's joining the banter of like Sam and Bucky, which I
Mm-hmm.
thought would be impossible to do.
Mm-hmm.
How could you join those two, right?
Yeah,
And he's finding a way in. So
yeah.
shout out to Zemo. I'm not sure. What do you think, Cheese?
Mhm.
What do you think about Zemo?
I'm 100% agree with you. That's actually one of the things that I pegged as the stuff that I like. He for me is the MVP of this episode. I agree with you that in Civil War, I wouldn't say that he was a weak villain. I just said that he was overshadowed by everything else that was happening in the
Agreed.
movie.
I agree.
I because like I had expectations for him because a good friend of mine and you guys know him, Rap Robes, loves Daniel Bruhl as an actor. So
Mm.
he told me that his casting was really great. So I was expecting something for it, but I felt that there was too much going on in Civil War for him to totally shine. And I guess
Yeah.
I agree.
he was a villain that was used as a plot device for the heroes to fight in Civil War. But he, as a villain, didn't really have enough of a spotlight in that movie. But in this series, you can really see Zemo shine. There's an impending danger every time he acts and every time he talks, even while he's cooperating with Bucky and with Sam. Like you can tell, like he was the one leading the charge. Actually, he was the one providing the jets. He was the one providing the leadership in Madripoor, which obviously we'll talk about. Uh, and he was the one like totally leading this episode, and you could tell that. Well, for me, that he had his own intentions in mind. So
Yeah.
even with the Bucky into Sam, like you could tell there's an underlying switch that will flip, that will eventually he'll get something to gain from all of this. So overall, he was the MVP in the episode for me.
Yeah. Javi, what did you like about the episode?
Well, I agree
Anything in
with the both of
particular?
you that he really was the MVP of the whole episode. But just taking it back a little bit, I was kind of disappointed initially when they introduced him because I'm sort of aware on who Baron Zemo is based on like the comics. Then when Age of Ultron, when Civil War came out, you find out that he just got mad because of what happened to his family based on what happened in Age of Ultron. So I agree with Chino when he said that he was just more of he was like the medium to get the two to fight basically, which is Captain America and Iron Man. But beyond that, at the time I was very disappointed. Where like, is that really how he is? Just like how Crossbones was very minute
Yeah.
character in regards to the MCU.
Mm.
But when they brought him back, I was like, okay, cliffhanger from the last episode was they were gonna go to him. So I was like, how are they gonna improve more on this character? Then they start digging deeper into his background. You find out he's rich, apparently. No one knew that. And beyond that, no one knew that he could fight or hold on his own. Because in
Oh
Age
man,
of
when he
no,
fought.
but the thing is, right? But the thing is, when you watched Civil War, he was more of like a calculated
Yeah.
villain rather than
Yeah,
one that
yeah.
could like kick ass. So
he
man, that was such a good episode. In terms of like character development, that's all he had to develop. Now you just have
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
where he's going with his grander
Yeah.
scheme.
Yeah. Standout scenes for me with Zemo when he was dancing was such a nice
Oh
touch.
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Man, that was
it
so
makes him
funny.
multi-layered, right? It's like,
Yeah.
okay, he's
more
a cool
human.
villain, right? He's a cool villain, and he like he was acting well already. He's acting well, and but having the dancing scene, it makes him cool. It makes him human. Exactly.
He's just like a
right?
cool person in general.
Yeah,
It reminded me of
such a nice scene.
Spider-Man 3.
Oh man, yeah. And another
It was like
scene was
Spider-Man 3.
when he wore his mask and then he
Yeah.
got
Oh,
to
that
work.
was so
I'm like,
good.
oh man. I'm willing to
Look.
bet that there's a background with that mask. Has to do with
Exactly.
something.
I was
There's
gonna
be a
say.
flashback. There's gonna be
I
a
was gonna say,
flashback
like,
with that.
the fact that he already has the mask in the first place means he was up to some stuff before
Yeah.
Civil War.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
One last
Z.
thing to add
Mm.
to Zemo is that he always made Bucky and Sam feel uncomfortable for what they did for in Sokovia. Right, he'd always call out the actions of the heroes. There's this one scene I think where they reach Latvia, where he was saying what happened to Sokovia in the aftermath, and how all the other neighboring countries basically just grabbed it, even
Yeah.
before the rubble got cleared. And then he was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"And you guys didn't even attend. I bet you guys didn't even attend the memorial.
See
Of
the
course, why would you?"
memorial. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like,
Um.
"Ooh,
It's
that
like
is
It
cold."
took it took me my second viewing to know what they meant by memorial. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
it's like
gotcha.
it's like
Good
a
point.
meta level thinking. Like
Yeah.
there's more
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Did any of you guys? I mean, I'm not sure if you guys know Doctor Doom. He resides in Latveria or
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
Latveria. Yeah.
So when I saw the thing, I'm like, huh? Fuck.
The place
Really,
exists.
Doom? Yeah, and I'm
No,
like, oh
it's
shit, no, it's
Latvia,
Latvia. I'm like,
a
god
real
damn.
country.
Like,
It's a real
oh,
country.
so close. We were so close already.
Geography, Maki,
Oh
geography.
man. So yeah, another. Oh yeah. Anything else you guys like? Chino? Anything else aside from Zemo?
Oh no, I'm just Zemo MVP for this episode.
Really,
Same.
really. Javi, you.
Well, for me, it was also just like right, when they got into Madripoor, they had to act like certain characters, and I'm like, who is this Mr. Smile? What's his name again?
Smiling Tiger.
Smiling
Yeah, I
Tiger.
was like,
Yeah.
okay. Then I
Yeah.
like the scene where like Bucky didn't even had he was put in a position where he had to act like his old self. I was like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
man!
So
If he showed that like fighting style when he fought the people on top of the container van, he would have won that fight
yeah.
like easy.
Yeah.
Then again, they
It
were
was
So that
so good.
actually, yeah, no, yeah. That brings up my second part. The second thing I like with this episode is that scene of Winter Soldier where he goes ham. Like, it is nice to know that Bucky can get this strong, right? And I think
Yeah.
this also answers your question. I think when you were talking about episode 1 or 2, though I think we were talking about it offline.
episode
You were
one.
asking,
Yeah.
One.
why was Bucky holding his punches or something like that? And this
Now,
pretty much
now I
answers
get it.
right?
Yeah.
Like now you know, right? Like he can activate it when he wants, but he chooses not to because I guess
No,
he
that
wants
was
to turn, you know.
that's the funny thing. I was so aware of that. Then when I saw him in that bar scene, I told Danny, I was like, he's Zemo is dehumanizing Bucky again. He just doesn't
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah. So that's the second thing I really liked about this episode. Anything you guys didn't like with this episode?
Mm,
Oh,
Or is it
can I add
another
one more thing
stellar
that I
episode?
liked in this episode?
Yeah, go.
One thing that I loved in this episode, the sneaky, if Zemo is the obvious MVP, the sneaky MVP for me is the introduction of Madripoor. Oh man, would I want a show just about Madripoor? And it's a lawless place in off the coast of Indonesia where all of these pirates go to. And then you could see like it's like this sort of tech steampunk tech based community of
Yeah.
like pirates, and then that the Winter Soldier and Zemo knew about before. That's just crazy. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Because like that means there's a history there. There's a history of Zemo there. There's a history of Winter Soldier there that was kind of explored but not really. So like
Yeah.
I wish it would be further elaborated, be it in a in Falcon and the Winter Soldier in the future, or in other future MCU products,
Yeah.
because like such an interesting
yeah.
place for me. And I think it's in the comics it's a place that has ties with the X-Men, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
Wolverine was
does
there
apparently.
at a
Yeah.
certain
It's
point
it's a
in time.
favorite place of his or whatnot. So we will definitely
co-owns
see
a
that
bar.
again. Yeah. Princess Bar, I think. That was the bar that they flashed for real quick. So
Yep,
for sure
yep,
we're gonna
yep.
see Madripoor in the future. But was I the only
Again.
one who got like major John Wick vibes?
I did.
It's like neon
Yes.
lights and then texting, and then it
Yes.
gets to
Yes.
everyone. I'm like, this is John Wick.
Interesting that you said that because the writer of this episode is a John Wick writer.
Oh,
Oh, that's
I did.
cool.
Interesting.
Even the fight scenes, very John Wick.
You know,
Yeah,
this
actually, it
world, this
was.
Madripoor, I feel like this is where you could include. Well, then again, I don't know where these heroes are based in, but like you could throw Punisher in there, you could throw Daredevil in that area. All these really rough characters, right? Moon Knight can be there. It seems like a nice world to really like. It's so different from New York, right? So it's very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, things
Very
I didn't
different.
like. Yeah. Things I didn't like.
Yeah, go ahead.
I kind of felt like for a while, I guess this was because in my first viewing, the pacing was really off for me. Like maybe it's because
I get that.
of
I get that.
yeah, it's I don't know, it's I think it's the expectations kasi. I think it's me. The negative is coming from myself. I'm expecting, okay, every episode there's gonna be something really banger, right? Either through action or through plot development. But sometimes it could just be moving the pieces slowly, right? Which we've seen in different shows, right? Like Game of Thrones and whatnot. So for a while, I got thrown off by the pacing. But on my second viewing, I was able to appreciate everything. I was able to appreciate the show overall. You
Just
guys didn't
to
have
ask.
any issues? Yeah.
I have a
No,
question.
just to ask, because I share the same issue with you. I just don't know if we're in sync on this. I also felt the pacing was off because I felt um plots were like jumping too fast for me. I think that it could have I think the meat of episode 3 could have been like an episode and a half or 2 episodes, which is again back to my thing that I didn't like in episode 2, which I found it too slow. Episode 3, while
Yeah.
there was so much stuff going on, I felt like the reintroduction of Zemo could have been a bit longer. Tension between the three superheroes could have been explored more. Madripoor could have been explored more.
Yeah.
Um,
I think the way they explained Madripoor was like through their personal experience there.
Yeah. mm,
But I think they're gonna elaborate more on the place
Yeah.
as time goes by.
Mm.
I hope.
I
I
hope
don't
so
want to
too.
leave it. Yeah.
But like even the reintroduction of Zemo in the start, you're breaking out Baron freaking Zemo, who is a major villain in
Mhm.
the MCU lore, and for it to just happen just like that, even though the breakout scene was super killer, for it to
It was so
happen
good.
just like that,
It was done perfectly.
it
was
was
so
done
good.
perfectly.
Can I
But
speak
then,
in
like,
hypothetical?
Yeah. Yeah, great scene. But then afterwards, that whole when they're together, the tension could have been a bit more elaborated for me.
Yeah, I think that's something I want to call out also. It's very weird how Bucky is just so chill with Zemo. It's like
Right?
Yeah. This guy like,
that's
ruined
a
his life.
big blank here. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I can't seem to make the connection. But what
I-
my mind reverted to na lang was, okay, I think this is Marvel really embracing their shows like comic books, right? When you read comic books, sometimes the villain will see the hero and they're just like
Yeah.
talking, like they're not
Yeah.
really engaging one another,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I think this is them trying to get us accustomed to that. Na it's not really based on reality. Na okay, if you see your villain, away ka agad. Here, sometimes it
sure.
could just be like, okay, they're
It's
gonna have
just
coffee, but still hate each other.
Yeah.
No, but that's
We
a little
know
weird.
though.
'Cause
Yeah, go ahead, Habs.
Dude, this guy like framed you killing the king of Wakanda and you're
Yeah,
Yep.
it's very
That guy
weird.
ruined your
but,
life.
Like Sam
What-
was so
how
right
else could
to
it
be
be
incredulous about it?
It's like
Yeah,
Sam was more
yeah.
affected over.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll
But like
explain
we
it. For
know
a while,
why
I
he
was
broke him out.
yeah. And like,
Yeah, like
he
he's
broke him
all,
out.
they're very desperate in stopping the super serum.
Yeah. I mean, all their goals are aligned. That's clear, and I could understand why Bucky needs to work with him. That's also clear. But there are those moments where like okay, you hate this guy. You know he's a villain. Why isn't he handcuffed? Why aren't you keeping your eyes on him? You know, like
Yeah.
when they were in that shootout scene by the containers for a while, like they weren't even paying it. Like Zemo was already like alone. I'm like,
No, I
damn,
actually
like
thought he
chase
ran
him.
off. I thought he ran
I
off
thought
at
he
that
ran
point.
off also. That's what Weda was asking me,
I
and I'm
thought
like,
he would
no, I
run
don't
run
like.
off also.
Yeah,
And
yeah. So
Zemo killed the
weird.
doctor without their permission.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like
That's the
so.
major thing. Like they needed the doctor
Yeah,
alive.
yeah, yeah. So okay,
Or
so now
or yeah.
this adds another
Or like
question. Is this
hmm.
something they're gonna they're gonna answer? Like, like
I
I
don't
think
think they'll
so.
address it.
when Bucky basically, like freed Zemo. Zemo killed a few people, and that's on Sam and Bucky's shoulders, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I wonder if that'll be addressed.
Yeah. And
No, because
that's
remember,
probably a plot line moving forward.
no, they're gonna use
Go
quasi
ahead, Abs.
Captain America to move forward because quasi Captain America was pissed that
Yeah,
like they were doing what
Yeah,
they were doing. So now it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
they're not on the same page anymore.
yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, that's really weird.
That's gonna be a plot thread moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so. I hope so because it's like, yeah, knowing Marvel, they will talk about it. It's just I don't know where this places Bucky in the future. Like he's already hated, and then now you freed Zemo, and Zemo killed more people. How can you redeem yourself?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
sure he saved people because of the blip, but like he still has a lot of owing up to do, and he's just not doing a good job at it right now, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Also,
Actually,
the
that's true.
big elephant in the room that we haven't discussed. Him freeing Zemo pissed off a specific type of people that we saw
Yeah.
in the
Okay.
end.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We can start going to like theories here already, like what we think about what's gonna happen in the succeeding episodes. So, what do you think is the role of Wakanda here? Will we see
I think
that?
they're
Will we
gonna.
see Chadwick Boseman? You know,
No, I don't think we
you
will.
think they filmed?
I
Do you
doubt
Rest
it.
think
in
they
peace.
filmed
I doubt
anything? What's their role
I
here?
I
think
feel.
side characters of Wakanda will show up.
I feel what they're gonna do is they want to extradite Zemo to Wakanda. I feel like that's what they want.
Mm,
Then what's gonna happen is they're not gonna do it because they have their own agenda. Then they're just gonna be on the run from quasi Captain America and from Wakanda at the same time. I feel like that's what's gonna
I
gotcha.
agree
happen.
wholeheartedly. That's the
Gotcha.
obvious that's the obvious pick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, that's an interesting thing because it makes both Sam and Bucky more in shades of gray as opposed to black and white hero, non-hero. They're
But
really
Yeah.
that's also the
breaking
problem
rules and
because this
pissing people off.
but this show is about who will have the mantle,
Yeah.
right? So it's like at this point, none of them should have the mantle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think at the moment they just strayed away from that plot. They'll pick it up
It's like
later on.
yeah, it'll be interesting where they take that. Yeah. For me, what I think what they're gonna do with Wakanda, or I mean, knowing Marvel, they can go anywhere with this, right? But what I'm hoping they do is in this show pa lang, in the succeeding episodes, they already talk about why T'Challa's not around. That will be established na. That's
No,
my
I
bet.
always wanted to
There
know
will be
how
a
they're gonna
heavy
address it.
scene. Yeah, I think
Is there
it'll
was
involve
this
Bucky for sure.
was this filmed before his death?
It was partially filmed
No,
partially
but he's been
before, and then it also filmed after. So yeah,
Oh, okay. Do you think
yeah,
they
they
address it there?
Kasi again, maybe. I mean, kasi if you don't address, you could address it in Black Panther too.
I
But
don't think so.
I think so.
I don't think they're gonna
I
address
think
it.
so.
Because I think the
I think
viewers
so.
already kind of know what happened. So it's like even if the plot line is weak as to why he's not there,
No.
everyone will still understand.
They know Chadwick Boseman passed away, but
Yeah,
the
of course.
character of T'Challa, I think, will be referenced why he's gone. Like maybe they'll say, "Oh, like there's gonna be a one-on-one scene with maybe the sister and Bucky. What's the name of the sister of T'Challa of Black Panther?
Ayo?
Yuri.
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 Sorry.
Am I
Oh,
Yuri?
Shuri.
Shuri.
Yeah,
Shuri. Yuri. So maybe like Shuri, like how my mind is speculating is that Shuri's gonna pop up and talk to Bucky and then say T'Challa passed away or something like that. Because Bucky does have some strong connection to Black Panther. So I felt like they
Mhm.
could have like a story thread there. So hopefully we'll find out how that goes.
I just think they're going to save the explanation of why T'Challa
Black Panther
maybe
2.
passed away or whatever when Black Panther
Mhm.
comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I
We'll
don't think
see.
they wanna. I don't think they'll take away that from Black Panther 2. They
Yeah.
won't take that.
That's
Like,
true also.
you know.
Yeah. Another question. I think this is the big mystery, right, of the entire show. Who is the power broker? Do you guys have
Oh.
any speculations who it could be?
Okay, so I just want to clarify the question. Are you asking as if the power broker is someone that we know already?
It could go both ways. It
Because
could be
from
someone we know or someone we don't know.
from what I understand, I think Power Broker is a standalone character in the comics, and I believe he'll be a standalone character in the show. It's not going to be someone that we know. I think he's just like some shadowy figure in the background. That will probably come to light in the next few eps, but he'll be like a brand new character for me.
You think it'll be a brand new character? I think
Yeah, I
it's.
feel so too.
Yeah,
I mean, we a lot of people got burned when they were speculating Mephisto, right? But it's fun to
yeah,
stir the pot with a little more theories,
yeah,
right? I mean, wishful thinking, like thinking of like someone like Power Broker, right? Someone who is selling. He's a
yeah,
businessman, basically. The
Yeah,
only
yeah.
supposedly.
businessman I could
Basically,
really think of is
Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is one,
Kingpin.
or it
Kingpin.
was Kingpin. I was thinking it was Kingpin, or Oscorp. So I want to
Oh, Norman
lead towards
Osborn.
Oscorp. I'm like, I mean, it's not far fetched
Interesting.
because Spider-Man 3 is this year, this December,
Yeah,
December.
right?
Wow.
This December. So what's happening now is we have Falcon and Winter Soldier, then we have Loki, and then we have I forgot which movie, Doctor Strange, I think, and
Yeah,
I don't.
Doctor Strange.
then
I don't think it's Doctor
no,
Strange
no,
I think it's
there's
Doctor Strange.
oh, no, Doctor Strange
this
is the
year.
year next year, next year.
No, Doctor Strange is next
2022.
year.
Yeah. So basically,
Spider-Man
but
this
the more
year.
important thing is Spider-Man 3 is this year.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah.
leads me to believe that at the end of this at the end of this series, or maybe during, we're gonna get the presence of Oscorp, and then it continues on with as usual as what
Are
we
you
know the Marvel
convinced that
formula.
Oscorp will show up in Spider-Man 3? Is that why you're saying it connects to this show?
I think that's a
I have
good
a
question.
question. Sorry, I have a
What? This
question. I have a question. Was Oscorp addressed in the Spider-Man of Tom Holland? All right.
No.
Oh, that makes it interesting.
But
Ooh.
also to stir in the pot, at the end of Spider-Man 2, when he's swinging around, right before there's that reveal of like who
Yeah.
Spider-Man is,
Yeah.
you
When
could
Jake
see
Gyllenhaal,
the
like,
build. Yeah, that scene, right? Like where Spider-Man's like swinging around. We swing by the old Avengers Tower, that property,
Yeah.
and a new
Mhm.
building is being built,
Oh.
and you don't know who
Ooh.
is constructing that building. Is it
Interesting.
Kingpin or is it Oscorp?
I think Oscorp is more legitimate.
Or
Like a
people
more
are also
legitimate.
thinking it might be the Fantastic Four, the Baxter building, yung condo nila.
Yeah.
That's also very possible because Fantastic Four has been announced already, but matagal pa yun. So my
It's been
money
announced,
is
right?
really Fantastic Four.
I didn't know
Yeah,
it's been
dude,
announced. Oh.
Yeah, it's been announced now.
it's been announced. The director of Spider-Man is directing it, John Watts.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude. It was announced during their Disney
Yeah,
Plus
yeah, yeah.
presentation thing.
Okay.
That was their
okay.
last reveal. Yeah. So yeah.
I hope they
Anyways,
get it
I
right
really
this time.
for sure. Oh my god,
They
come
will.
on. Oh, dude. Yeah, without a doubt.
3 movies. I'm
But yeah.
sorry, man. You gotta get it right.
But
Third
yeah,
time's a
back to that. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not 100% convinced yet because I still need to see what Power Broker's about, right? But knowing who he is right now, that he's a businessman and like he's just selling stuff, selling serums and whatnot, trying to gain control of the city or whatever, has Kingpin or Oscorp vibes, really. And knowing that Spider-Man 3 is this year, we're gonna see Oscorp.
I hope so.
It's gonna happen.
Because that
Makes
opens so
sense.
many doors for the Sinister Six and all of that. Like, man.
Yeah.
For Dark Avengers as well.
Mhm.
A lot, which that's for another conversation for sure. But
Yeah.
like that's rumoredly in the makes also, like a Dark Avengers. Sinister Six, they've been already working towards
That's
that
been
since the
in-
first Spider-Man. Even
Yeah,
the
but it got
Andrew
development
Garfield
hell.
Spider-Man, yeah, but
It got scrapped.
if you take
sayang.
yeah. Because like if you look at the what's happening with Spider-Man, right? We like in Spider-Man 3, you already have most of the Sinister Six in that movie already. So
Yeah, that's true.
Oscorp, Power Broker. Not yet, and don't put it in the bank yet, but give me till the 4th episode, and then I'll decide. If it's not him for some strange reason, I think Power Broker is Sharon.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know
Oh,
why. I mean,
speaking of
there's no
Sharon,
just
let's discuss.
shout out to her scene. Yes, right. We
Let's
forgot
discuss
about her
Sharon.
scene.
Oh man, dude,
Yeah,
she's like
discuss
a-
Sharon.
She's like a more violent.
She
more
was
violent
great
Black
in
Widow.
that episode.
So good. Like
Yeah.
from someone and again, this is where Disney Plus Marvel shows shine. It's really giving these no one characters and then just putting them up there, putting them like
Mhm.
in a spot where they deserve, right? This where they deserve recognition. So that fight scene of hers, I mean, that's the thing that stood out for me the most. I'm not sure if there are other scenes
was
you guys
so good.
like, but in that scene, I had to play it again because I wanted to count how many goons she fought.
She
Dude, it
killed.
was
She
1
killed, like,
versus
so many.
8. 1
Dude,
versus
you can
8.
Single-handedly.
Single hand without breaking a sweat. You know?
Dude, she didn't even have a weapon when it happened. Seriously.
Yeah.
It was
It's
very John
crazy.
Wick.
I'm like,
She had a
Yeah,
pipe,
now
I
that-
think.
she had a
Sorry?
pipe. She had a pipe. She had a pipe that she
Dude.
threw.
Yeah,
But
she had
still,
a
not a
pipe.
gun.
It was very John Wick. Like the violence and
Not
like
like
the
that.
aggression she had.
So good.
So good.
I'm fine with if Cheens, would you be fine with having a Majipur show and it's her in it?
Oh, dude.
Diba?
Sign me up for, man. Sign me
Right?
up for
Yeah.
anything, Madripoor. Yeah. I have two things about Sharon. Number one,
Mm.
I love that it links back to the major essence of the show, which is the fallout from Captain America, right?
Mhm.
She supported Cap and got burned for it. And it's
Yep.
something that was in the dialogue between her and Sam, made Sam super guilty about it. That love the scene. I was on the run also. And then she says, big difference between was and is. So
Wasn't
you
is,
could,
yeah.
she's still on the run. And it's
Yeah,
because
she
of
still can't go
her
home.
support. Yeah. Her support of Captain America. So again, it really ties back to the main issue of the show, which is the fallout of Captain America. And I love the attention to detail
nice.
that everything they're introducing, even Baron Zemo, has ties back
Yeah.
to Captain America because of the Avengers. So everything that they introduce in the movies, even the flag smashers, super serum back to Captain America, always
Yeah.
being tied back to Captain America. It's just
Yeah.
great. Yeah. And then number two, I don't know if you guys caught this. Right after the whole scene in the container van fight, so Bucky and Sam go off with Zemo in the car that Zemo finds. Sharon was
Yeah.
like, "No, just get the pardon." And then right after, she goes back and a girl is waiting for her in a car. It's like, "We
Yeah,
have an
that was
issue."
weird.
What was that?
Yeah,
That makes you
yeah.
show that there's something deeper with Sharon.
Maybe,
Yeah.
you know what? Back to what Maki said. Maybe she's the power broker.
Nino says hi. Hi, Nino.
What's up, man?
What's up?
Dude, she could be the power broker. Honestly, maybe they're like it's like unraveling.
I mean, the pieces aren't there yet, but like, if you rewatch that scene where they mention, where they're after the fight scene and they're all just having scotch or whatever,
Yeah,
I think that's before the fight scene or whatever. Go to that scene where they're
that's
drinking and then
before.
yeah, where Falcon was changing. They were talking about like why they're in Madripoor. They're talking about Power Broker.
Yeah.
Right when that scene, right when Falcon I think was talking about it. Right when he talks about it, you see Sharon kind of look at him, and then looks away, and then stands up and leaves the camera, and then she grabs her coat, the coat for whatever. And then that's where, if you really watch it, it looked really suspicious. Like she was hiding her reaction or whatever. It might have been on purpose, might not be on purpose, but that's what led me to really doubt her because like
She's
she looked,
definitely hiding something.
yeah,
Yeah.
she looked really sketched there. I don't know why she would be a villain though. Like the only thing I could
I
think of
doubt
so
she's the
far with
power
the
broker,
information.
but I think
Yeah,
she's hiding something.
yeah. So interesting. I don't know if she'll be able to bring her to like a villain route, which doesn't, it really doesn't
I have
make
a
sense.
feeling, or
But
maybe
I
she's
don't
like a
think so.
double agent, like in support of the power broker. If it isn't her,
Maybe she's working for the power broker.
maybe she's
yeah,
working for
exactly.
Oscorp.
That's a good.
Hey, you never know, man.
Again,
That's the
satellite
exciting
branch.
thing. So yeah, okay, we have one question. Let's tackle one question from a follower of mine. He was this comes from Deej Diaz. He's asking if you guys what do you guys feel about the OPM track, the Amats by Shanty Dope that was played in episode 3? Have
One
you?
of two things. It's either there was a Filipino in the writing that like pitched it, or they found it like by accident. But the way what I like about it is, well, in a broader perspective, that song was very controversial locally. If you
Yeah,
guys weren't aware,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
But what I like about it is like I'm not sure if it was intentional, but Madripoor is a very controversial place based on what they were
Yeah,
saying about it in regards to the
yeah,
history and whatnot. So maybe it was like a play to it, or maybe they tried to find a song that sounded very foreign. And since Madripoor is located somewhere in Asia, it could be, it could, I don't know. But man, I think when I heard, not even knowing that that was it, when I heard it, it really went well with the whole show. So I was like,
yeah.
wow, it takes like I thought to like a deeper level. Like, did they really do that intentionally though? Like, I don't know. Diba? What do you think?
Jeans? What do you think?
Okay. Javi's right. The song matched the vibe of Madripoor very well. I just found it so odd that
Yeah.
they specifically said where Madripoor was located, which was off the coast of Indonesia. So hearing
Yeah.
as Filipinos, hearing a Pinoy song being played while they're showing a place that we know is off the coast of Indonesia
And
felt
is it the
sort of
Philippines?
odd. Exactly. It felt sort of odd for me. I mean, be it that the whole vibe of the song plays well with Madripoor, I just think that as the writers and creators of the show, they would have chose a song. They would have chosen a song that's more accurate to the location of where Madripoor is.
Ah, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that for me was, I mean, same sentiments more or less. It's nice to hear, of course, Filipino music and different movies, seeing us being represented, if done properly, obviously. But it was just, I felt so disconnected. You're saying this is Indonesia, and then I hear Pinoy song. I'm like, I don't
Mm.
Exactly.
complete. It just doesn't make sense. But
For me,
again,
Yeah.
yeah.
this could be like the Marvel shows following the comics, right? They'll travel to like some Asian country, and then sometimes they'll just throw Easter eggs of like different Asian brands or whatever. They're just Easter eggs. But again, here, because it's a different medium, it's a visual
I think
medium,
like
so it's kind of
I
weird
don't
Yeah.
think they
to hear it.
it,
Yeah.
it's not that they didn't give it thought. I just think that just taking it as it was, the grittiness of the song just really fit well
Yeah.
with the scene. I don't think they really
Yeah,
It
yeah,
does. It
like
does.
I don't think
yeah.
they made the Philippines like a non-existent country in the MCU. You know what I mean? So I just
Yeah.
really feel like it just went with it.
Yeah,
I just think that
shit.
there's a Pinoy in the writing staff.
Yeah, right.
Snuck it in.
There's a Filipino writer.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, what does this mean in English? Trust me, it fits the scene. Just go with it.
It's fine. It's
It's just
fine.
it's fine. What's Amats? Just
Yeah.
don't mind it.
It's right. Don't
Oh,
worry about
well.
it.
So yeah, any last thoughts you guys want to bring up or talk about with this episode?
For
Uh,
me,
what
my
are you
last
guys'
thought is
predictions moving forward?
Hmm.
Oh, go
Javi?
ahead.
me. My last thought is I haven't been so excited for a next episode based on the third episode. Like when I watched the first, I wasn't so stoked about the second. Second, I wasn't so. I was like, yeah, for the third. But now I'm like, I want to see the fourth episode because of everything they tackled in the third. So I'm
Yep,
excited, man.
Chino, what do you think
Is it
of any
for
last?
me? I have a couple of. I have a couple. I just about the power broker, the introduction of the power brokerage, and that's the title. The episode, episode 3 was titled "Power
Yeah.
Broker." So it really uh, introduces this, and I'm feeling this is the major big bad in this show. Is that my prediction is I think it happens in the comics and it will happen in real life. That the power broker is the one that gives the superpowers to both John Walker and Battlestar, and how that happens will be very interesting to see.
Alright, my closing remarks here. Another theory I have based on nothing is not really based on nothing, but I think Zemo does the whole. He's playing the role so well of parang hi Danny, hey,
I miss you guys.
I miss you.
I miss you. Sorry. You can go back.
Right. I was saying, what was I saying? Yeah, one of the theories I have is that because I liked Zemo so well and so much in this episode, how he was playing off of Sam and Bucky. A part of me really feels like at the end of the day, Zemo might not be a villain. They might. I
think
would
he
want
is.
them. I would want them to throw such a curveball where he becomes this really not anti-villain, but like just for this story, he really is not the villain of the show. Basically, it really is a power broker. Zemo is not the one moving the pieces. He's not. He doesn't have he doesn't have like this big plan of his of whatever to fight the Avengers, the Sam and Bucky. I really think he's just a side character. Sorry, Chino got disconnected. We're bringing him back in.
No,
Cheens?
for me, I personally believe that he's only Zemo is only doing what he's doing until he can flip the tables and just get his own, like make his own agenda happen. That's what I think is gonna happen.
Like, basically, what I'm trying to say is, I think Zemo is being built like Loki.
yeah,
He is a villain,
Good.
but he
That
does
makes
have
sense. That
like
makes sense.
right? Because they said it in the episode where like, yeah, he's a bad guy, but he does have a code still, right? I
He's
think
like a
Bucky said
lawful-
that in
lawful
the episode, right? And I think
Yeah.
that's Marvel teasing it already. That like we're making him the next Loki, So and if that's the case, I love it because I love watching him on screen. I love seeing those moments where like, wow, he's playing well with heroes in some weird way, and it's like I'm not offended by it.
Actually, Loki did the same thing, no?
Right? So I don't know. That's what I think. At the end of it, maybe Zemo's not a villain. It really is just a
Not
power
so
broker.
bad after all. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like he's gonna.
So-
Yeah,
he's gonna-
a lot of the characters in this show are all shades of gray. If you think about it.
That's true. Everyone's morals or whatever it is kind of gray. You are right. That's a reoccurring theme with all the characters we have met so far.
yeah.
That's very valid. That's making me think now. Interesting. I'll let that simmer some more. So that wraps up our review of the third episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. So again, I guess stay tuned next week. We'll be recapping the fourth episode, and yay, we were able to shorten our review.
Yeah.
We'll work on it. We'll work on it some more and find the right formula. But yeah, Javi, any closing remarks with your pages? You want to drop it down? Not like I have a lot of followers.
Okay.
But like, hey,
Nah, I'm good. This is yours. I'm happy that we're doing this. I'm happy that I get to see you guys. That's about it, man. We're just talking about what interests us, and that just makes me feel good.
and for Chino guys, if you guys need help with some advice, some dating advice, dating tips, Chino Bustamante on Instagram. Don't forget that name, guys. So yeah, that's it. All right, till next week, guys. So, all right.
Peace out. Peace out.
Deuces.